Sunday wind down, Idah with the voice on the speaker, Sunny on the mic and it's all round. Conversations are bigger, so fill my cup, fill my cup. I'm already tuned in all the way up, all the way up. Can't stop listening now.
Like, I can't believe we're recording a podcast. Tumekuwa tukiongea kuhusu something forever.
We've taken such a long ass break though.
You know what? It's life. I think we allow life to happen, which is a good thing. You know, we accommodate life as it comes, which I think is a good thing. We should not beat ourselves up, sindio? Alafu, tell me why you're drinking tea. Why? The show is called Sunday Wind Down. Why are you drinking tea?
Before I get into why I'm drinking tea, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sunday Wind Down podcast. It's DJ Sunny Sistuki and
Idah Alisha.
We've missed you guys. I'm sure you guys have missed us too. I'm not sure we still remember how to podcast, but here we go.
I think we do. I think that's one thing that we were born with. Unajua, ni kama kuride bike. When you're riding a bicycle, you don't really need to learn over and over. Like, you never really forget.
One thing I was not born with is drinking alcohol.
What the hell? It's acquired. As a Kenyan, it was in your blood. Ask your ancestors. Ask them. It is in the blood.
It is in the blood.
It's guilt-free here.
Anyway, so Idah, I think you just asked me why am I drinking tea.
Right, man.
So for those of you tuned in on video, which this podcast is also available on YouTube.
Yes.
But if you're on audio, I'm drinking tea. And we're recording this podcast in the middle of the day. Idah is drinking
Why are you
wine.
telling people the time, man?
I did not say the time. I said middle of the day.
Walala, hey, it'd be your own.
Have
Wow.
I said 6 a.m.? No.
It's
Have I
not.
said 2 p.m.? No. I said middle of the day. But you know what? It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is.
So I'm drinking tea because honestly, recently we came back from Kenya, and we'll talk. I'll tell you a little bit about what happened there, and I'm sure you have some things to tell us as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
But Maze, I feel like we're drinking. Maybe not we.
Well,
I'm drinking.
I was going to be like, why are you speaking in plural?
I'm not the one drinking wine in the middle of the day. But I feel like I'm drinking quite a bit. Well, my life is in the club every weekend.
I was going to say.
Yeah, and I just don't like. I think I'm getting older,
Do you think?
and I think the feeling of how you waste the whole next day. And most of the time when I go to the club and I DJ, the next day I have something to do as well.
Or travel.
DJ or travel
back,
or
yeah.
something, yeah. And I think that feeling of hangover is catching up to me.
Yeah, you just need to perfect your drinking. Some of us don't get hangover.
Hey.
Yeah, you just continue where you left.
In fact, I had posted on my story yesterday how people cope with the alcohol and drinking
Yeah, what they
and
say?
always drinking. One, I was told to avoid Kenyans.
Ay, it's tough.
Tough.
Tough, very. Tea, capital T.
2, I was told to drink tea,
Which you are drinking
which
currently.
I am drinking tea. I do like tea.
Okay.
3, I was told to offer advice
Offer.
to other people with the same issue.
Hey, yo.
Now, how I said that's the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, but
surely.
you know, eta mimi, as your friend, I would just say don't offer nobody advice. Ain't nobody need that. You just drink what you gonna drink.
Anyway,
But-
so for our fans out there,
Yeah.
I am on a journey to try and cut down on my drinking.
I see.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my really good friends, her name is Maggie. Shout out to Maggie. Yeah, she actually quit drinking and she's doing so good. And I will connect you to. So she tells you how she figured, like, you know, what she does. Because, you know, as a Kenyan, it's in your blood, you know. But, like, you have a lot of free time. And like you said, when you hang out with fellow Kenyans, we're always drinking. It's always looking for a reason to drink. Oh, man, you're sad. Ah, man, here, shoto. Ati what? You got a promotion? Shoto. Ay, Nani died. Let's celebrate him. Shoto. Nani got a baby. Shoto. Like, there's no situation where we never include alcohol.
And by the way, this is not at one of those stupid New Year's resolutions.
Oh, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
This
You've been
is
trying
something
for a
that
while
started
anyway.
in just now in February. January, obviously, I was drinking heavy. I was in Kenya.
Heavy.
Yeah. I tried once before last year, and then I went on tour with Shinsky.
Right.
And it...
So what you're saying is avoid Shinsky. Anyway, shout out to DJ Shinsky. We did go to Kenya, Sunny. I mean, we had a great time. We really had a great time spending time with friends and family. I mean, obviously, Kenya, you can talk about Kenya the entire day, but tell me about a few things that stood out to you, because I know you hadn't been home we went back in April.
Yeah, so
but
for me it was
that-
like 6 months
Yeah.
since I'd been home, but before that was almost 7 years.
Right, and that same for me, because
Yeah.
like for me it was about 7 years as well. But like when we went in April, I feel like we were more busy in April because it was club after club after club and busy booked. I would say booked, busy and blessed. Praise the Lord, we're not complaining. But what I'm saying is this time we had a chance to sit back and enjoy Nairobi and other places. I know we traveled.
Yeah, and the purpose of the trip in April was to go on
Business,
tour.
yeah.
Yeah, the purpose of the trip in December was family, vacation, friends, and I actually traveled with my child.
Yeah. Oh, how was
And,
that? For
and
the
June,
first time.
and she was 15 months at that time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, traveling with a 15-month-old all the way across the world is not easy.
I know.
It's not
I'm so
easy.
glad we were not in the same flight. Oh my God.
Hey,
No, I'm kidding.
Let me
No,
tell
but like
you.
she's a good baby. That
she's
thing is
a good baby, but you know, even adults, we
It's still
get
hard.
worn out at the tail end of these long flights,
Yeah.
and connections and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And she was like, there were points where I was just pacing up and down the flight, holding her. And then, fortunately, we traveled with June as well. So, you know, both of us were there to help with her.
Right.
If it's just one parent doing it, I'm telling you, it would have been very tough. Yeah.
No, I know.
And then there's the other whole aspect of airports and their rules. So apparently, when you get to Doha, we left New York and went to Doha.
Okay.
And Doha does not allow for things to be gate checked.
Oh, so that means even
So
your
our
stroller, nothing. Ayo.
was checked in JFK. And when we got to Doha, we asked them where our stroller is. They're like, oh, we don't allow for things to be gate checked.
Oh my goodness.
And the only way we'll go all the way into the plane and get your stroller is if your layover is more than 5 hours.
How long
Which
was your layover?
4 hours and some change.
Oh, hey, they couldn't compromise?
Imagine, no?
Wow.
And so we basically walked everywhere carrying the baby.
And you had
we
your
were tired.
carry-ons?
And we had our carry-on. No, yes, we had our carry-on. And so even like the wanting to look at duty-free shopping and all that, nothing. We just went, sat in the lounge, ate, chilled with the baby till it was time to get in the flight. It was... So these rules, make sure if you're traveling with a child, you know these rules ahead of time because they can really mess you up.
Well, quite the contrary for me. I had the time of my life. Like, and I know, I mean, I know what you're saying. It's really tough, but there's this other side where when you don't have a child yet, you know I love you, baby. Don't get me wrong. But right before, like me, I had a good time. The amount of alcohol I drank. Them people were like, you know what? Before, it was every 5 minutes, they just bring another one. Because like, wamechoka kuitishwa. I was like, ma'am, if you see me, just bring alcohol, okay? But I had a good time. I traveled Qatar as well.
Well, me, I was busy asking for hot milk from the
ngumu.
stewardess or air hostess.
Hey, me shoto.
Hey.
I had a really good travel to Nairobi. The layover in Qatar for me was 12 hours. So the beauty of Qatar is when you fly business, at least you have the lounge and you can go sleep and shower and all that.
12-hour layover.
12 hours. 12 hours, Sunny. It was, but you know what? Like I said, it was easy because I went, I lalad, I showered. By the time by the time I woke up, it was like 7 hours into the trip, into the layover. So by the time you shower and freshen up, it's time to, go and, before you eat and, so it worked out for me.
But you didn't leave the airport.
I didn't leave the airport.
Aye,
Qatar airport
12.
is humongous.
I know, it's huge.
I didn't feel like I needed to leave. I just was hanging out. And I mean, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is I got a chance to sleep and shower and freshen up before I hit Nairobi, which was beautiful. And I hit Nairobi and one of my best
So
friends.
when Dongepewa, you're the one who would have been given the stroller because your
By the way,
layover is longer.
it was longer. You should have told, but well, we traveled different days anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as always, one of my best friends came and picked me up. It's like a ritual. I love her for it, Kate. I'm shouting out so many people, but Kate actress, shout out. But they came and picked me up. We literally showered and went to the club same day. I'm in Nairobi to live my life, not to waste time. So same day. Where? Milan. Boom.
We landed and went to sleep.
Na ngumu sana. Unaona difference of being a parent.
Hey. And
That was beautiful.
you had already been, I'll use a Kiswahili word, changamkad on the flight. You were drinking on the flight.
Yo, I drank to a point. I slept. Woke up sober. I was like, hello, we're still traveling. Please, niroge. It was beautiful though. It's really good. And I had a good, the travel was great. So I can't complain. But Nairobi, we did a lot of gigs. You did a lot of, some gigs. This time not
maybe about
many.
six gigs, all in Nairobi. I didn't do any in Nakuru.
You were actually
or
trying
LD.
to do just 4.
I was actually trying to do more like 2 or 3. Yeah.
And then they ended up booking, which
Yeah.
is great. Good for you. what can you tell me about I see you I don't interact with DJs so much. Other than you guys, I mean in Nairobi, like if somebody else is playing and you're about to go on, it's not like we interact too much.
Right.
We'll say hi, what's up, and then bounce. But you had a lot of interaction with DJs in Kenya. What would you say about that relationship? Like, did you feel welcome everywhere you went? I know some places we didn't, and that is why I'm asking you this. I personally, there's some places I was like, why are you so mad, But some places I felt really loved on and really welcomed. And so I was wondering, as a DJ, like, how was that experience for you?
So it's very interesting you asked me that question because there are some places where, so I feel like, okay, the radio stations and the TV stations, like whenever I do an interview, the reception is always amazing.
Right.
It's always like these guys, it's like we're vibing with good friends and stuff like that, right? All the hosts. And then the club scene is 50-50, I feel like. I never felt it when I was here in April.
Okay.
But when I came back in December, there are some DJs that are just so welcoming and like so, it's so good to meet you and here we are and, just having a good time.
Right.
And then there's some places I went to DJ, like the DJ that would be getting off before me or coming on after me. It was very clear that they had an attitude.
And I'm saying, the reason to why I ask is because I know I witnessed something.
Yeah.
But I was like, like being in that field, I would imagine that, you're somewhere maybe here and I'm here. I would want to learn from you to figure out, like, why is this guy being booked in Kenya every time he comes here? I would want to learn from you.
And it's not even learning, other than the learning part. Yes, I agree with you on the learning part. But other than the learning part, we are a community. Right? I was going to use the word fraternity, but we have a lot of female DJs as well.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. So we are a community, and our job in this entertainment community is to uplift each other, to be there for each other, and to, be proud of each other. Right? So I had two experiences that really were left me thinking like, what's going on? I'll just touch on them real quick. I don't want to talk about it too much. But I was at a club. I came up. We had a table set aside for us. The DJ who was supposed to be playing after me, who I did not know at the time.
Right.
I even went and said hi to him at the VIP table that we were at. And he gave me a cold shoulder with the greeting. Like, it's like, when I'm saying hi to someone, I'm smiling, I'm energetic.
You come with good vibes.
And like this guy just shook my hand and was even looking away and was not smiling. So I was like, oh, maybe he's... anyway, I didn't even pay it any mind. I kept on with my night. When it was time for me to play, I went on. I did my set. About an hour and a half into my set, I'm being told, okay, the next DJ is supposed to come on. Your time's up.
An hour?
Yeah, about an hour and a half-ish.
Well, you know what? At least you got your money.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day. But so I was like, okay, cool. But I was told that my set ends at this time.
Right.
If there's a misunderstanding, let's clear it out. And if you're supposed to come on now, great.
Right.
If I'm supposed to, because I planned a way that I'm playing, knowing that I'm playing for so long or not. And then he said, okay, so he got mad and walked away.
This
and
is
then
the same DJ that gave you a cold shoulder when you're saying hi.
Yes, and then another guy came up and said, yo, your time is up. I was like, okay, cool. If my time's up, it's up. So I logged off. As I'm walking away, this DJ gets on the mic and says, I'll say it in Swahili because it just sounds, and then we'll translate, yeah?
Okay.
And says, sasa juu tumemaliza mangoma za YouTube, tusikize ngoma za ukweli.
Oh my goodness.
Something along those lines, right?
Yep.
And if I try, you want to translate that?
I would like
Idah?
to try. He said, now that we are done with YouTube music or YouTube songs, let's get into real music.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't know how you didn't throw hands.
No, and you know me, I was walking away and I was taking pictures and saying hi to people and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than this. Let me just walk away. It's okay. It is what it is. And then the next song, the song he proceeds to play right after he makes that announcement is "Don't Come Back."
Wow.
And he starts it right on that cue. Don't come back.
Wow.
Obviously, it's a crowd moving song, so people go and start dancing. But the message was probably caught by very few.
Wow. Yeah, because we were all vibing at that point. We've been drinking. So that is wild.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to report to you, Sunny, that soon after, I don't know if you know this or not, but he was disciplined. I don't know,
I know that's not my. I'm just hoping that as a community we can grow and help each other. I'm not bickering or complaining.
No, it's
I'm
an
doing
experience,
just fine, right?
And it's an
Yeah,
experience
yeah.
you encountered. It's okay.
I feel like if any DJ was to come to my turf, I would be very welcoming and very hospitable, and I would want to, network and get to know people and just build that community, which I think some people are yet to learn.
And again, this is a young DJ, very young and upcoming. I guess that's a lesson learned, but that's why I was saying, I don't know, just be, and that's what I think my biggest lesson in 2022 was learn to, sometimes, how do I put it? Sometimes there's a way you react to things, or there's a way, if it was you, if the roles were reversed, you would have reacted to things. But then it's good to understand that not everybody thinks like you.
Yeah.
That has set me free in so many areas in my life. It's like, okay, this is how I would do it. Maybe I'm being noble or I'm being whatever. I would do it this way. But then, again, si kila mtu anafikiria wewe.
Yeah.
Some people were raised differently. Maybe that lesson was missed in their household, and it is what it is. But let me tell you another lesson that was missed in every other household in Nairobi. Timekeeping. Let me tell you. So this one time, and I'm gonna make this really quick. This one time we make an appointment, and I bring some people. I'm like, if I'm gonna come to your business, we'll come and support Nini. So I bring some people. Tell me why we walk in, and we walk in before, like here if you say it's 11, you'll be there by like 10:45. You make sure you're at the parking lot. You're getting ready to go in. Over there, you make an appointment for 10. It's 10:30. Whoever you made an appointment with is not even there. Uko happy, they're calling them. It's like, what was the purpose of the appointment? I got to some places that I felt really badly that my time was just taken for granted. It's like, sushafika.
Yeah.
You're already here. What you gonna do? But then I went to other places, and the last place I got my nails done, which was really great, and I loved the experience, is you make an appointment. By the time you get there, just like here, you have a set time. They plan for you. They plan ahead for you. By the time I got there, there was already somebody waiting for me. I didn't have to wait. And the place I got my hair done too, 2 other places, which I commend these people. Time is very important. If you don't respect yours, respect somebody else's.
Yeah. There are some people that do keep time. But for the most part, I was told by someone in Kenya, so it's not my own quote, that in Kenya, everything is plus or minus 1 hour. And I don't agree with that. Now, there's another part about timekeeping, right? Most people will say, if I'm having a meeting with you, for example, and we're meeting at 10, I'll say, I don't want to be the one to go over there and wait.
That's wild.
So let me get there and find you there.
Aki, that's wild.
Whereas I feel like, let me be the one that's there early.
Yeah.
And when whoever I'm having the meeting with finds me there. Because at the end of the day, this interaction is me getting an impression of you and you getting an impression of me. If I get there and you're on time, I have a good impression of you.
Correct.
Whereas when I'm late, you have a bad impression of me. It's a bad way to start anything.
Even business, right? Like where I was going.
Friendship, relationships, anything. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, I hope we get better. We have to get better. We cannot just be like Sini wa Kenya.
Hey, Idah, you just lifted your arm. Kwani, you burnt yourself over here.
Yo, I burnt myself badly. If you're watching this, I burnt myself really bad when I was cooking for the Super Bowl. I was at your house. I can sue you for that. Anyway, their house is not burn proof, so they burnt me. But if you're listening to this, it's not that bad. It's just my hand. But anyway, it's something. Sunny, let me tell you another thing. You said burn, and I remember something that burns. Super gonorrhea. By the time we were flying out.
By the time we were flying back.
I remember there was headlines. Oh my God, there's super gonorrhea in Kenya. There's an outbreak that even antibiotics cannot tibu. And apparently, there's this ongoing joke, and people are saying, in Kenya, the ratio is 1 to 7.
1 to 7 what?
Me, I could have 7 partners.
Oh.
Monday, Tuesday,
but let me ask you, does this apply to single people or married people? Or
you know what? It doesn't matter.
Oh.
It does not matter. And it's just such a culture. I know we make fun because Kenyans, you know what makes us like just move forward with life? Hata kama ni ngumu, we make it a joke. We just laugh about everything, which I love. As a Kenyan community, we just joke about everything. It'd be bad sometimes, and we're like, you know what? We'll laugh through it. But there's one thing I don't think we should be laughing through, and it's this, like, one partner, like 1 to 7, ratio is 1 to 7. Come on,
So you
guys.
think
Like, you're busy.
this super gonorrhea that showed up in January is a product of this 1 to 7 ratio?
I absolutely think so. I mean, it's so weird that this is an example. Like, so for example, I know who you're dating and I see you dogging, and it's okay. Like, I wouldn't even ask you or even just confront you to be like, Sonny, what's up? You know, or even tell you, it's not my place to tell your partner, but I would come to you and be like, nigga, the fuck you doing? Why I cast? Anyway, you used to this. But what I'm saying is, it's just become such a norm that we know people are unfaithful to their partners and we live with it. And even people say, oh yeah, he left his wife at home, so us guys are going to Naivasha, and when we come back, we're not going to the same house, he's going back to his wife's house. Like, why? Hi. Like, why are you allowing this?
But let me ask you this,
Where is this comfortable?
But is it something that is only happening in Kenya, or is it actually happening everywhere else, but it's not very open?
It's happening everywhere else,
Yeah,
I think.
it is.
But it's not very open. And the fact that we speak about it as Kenyans shows kidogo growth, that we know it's happening because we speak about it. But we speak about it, but don't like...
So do you
why
remember
we condone it?
that cop? That cop who had slept with all the cops?
Yo,
it just
here
came out
in America.
here in America.
She was... them they did... What did you say? She was for the people. A lot of people.
Yeah. And I remember I used to work in a different city. This is years back, 15 or so years ago.
Wow, you're old. You used to work
I used to
15
work.
years ago.
Yeah.
Me, I was a child.
Me, I started working when I was 13. That's
Yeah?
a story for another day.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe we'll do a whole podcast on that.
And we should.
Yeah, but I remember I knew some clients who are cops, and I knew some clients who are EMTs, and they were all married,
Okay.
and they were all with. This is in America.
Yeah.
They were all in each other's, like an ambulance would park. There'd be a cop car parked next to it. You know what's going on.
Are you kidding
Yes.
me? Aye, that's wild.
Yes.
But
so
to answer your
these
question,
things
yes,
happen everywhere.
It's
I think,
everywhere.
yeah.
But just in Kenya, and then we had the super gonorrhea. So please just, I don't know what the
You know why I
whatever
think
you're
this
doing,
gonorrhea
like,
has become super?
Be careful.
Can I give you my opinion on why gonorrhea
Yeah.
has become super in
Yes,
Kenya?
doctor. Yes.
Yes. So in Kenya, you can get antibiotics over the counter.
That's
Here,
true.
it's a prescription, right?
Right, yeah.
So in Kenya, you get a little sniffle. Guess what? You go get
Antibiotics.
antibiotics. You get a little, you cough a little, you go get antibiotics.
Right.
So your body has built an immunity to antibiotics. So even the gonorrhea mutates because we are always taking antibiotics.
Correct.
So this gonorrhea has mutated. That is what I think.
Actually, you could be right.
yeah.
I know. Yeah, you could be right. That's crazy. Do better. God, don't die. Life is here for us to live and enjoy. Please don't die dogging people. Just pick the one you want to be with. Even if it's 2 weeks. Unajua hata heri gawiana huyu wiki zake mbili faithfully, and then move to the other one. I think that's crazy, but it is what it is.
Now, speaking of this 1 to 7 ratio and men and women, and not necessarily men and women,
Women and women.
people and
Men and
people,
men,
right? Doing what they do intimately or whatever they do. Do you find let me ask you this as a woman,
Okay.
right?
I do identify. I don't know why you didn't ask me how I identify, but okay.
Because I know you.
I do identify as a woman. Yeah, go for it.
As a woman, do you find that chivalry is non-existent or still exists?
I would say 50-50. I want to say in my circle of friends, I feel like I see some chivalry. Not as much as I would see back in the day, but I do see some. Me personally, like when I'm dating or whatever, like if you begin to open my car door, like, I'm sitting in the passenger side, you walk around and open... I'm not going to be opening it. You finish what you started. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't...
So say you're dating the same person 6 years later, the person needs to be opening that door 6 years later.
Nani alikutuma uanze? Don't teach me something you cannot... You see, what I'm saying is, don't pretend. Don't do something just because you're trying to get in my good books and then stop.
But they're trying to impress you and show you that, you're important
even
and
after
whatever.
you get me, that's the thing men forget. They do the chasing and then they get you, they sit back and relax. Nah, Keep running, brother. We're still running.
No, women do the same shit.
We do. Well, listen, we could change this podcast and fight out here, but you asked me a question. I'm going to answer it.
No, but in response to what you said about starting something and then not finishing it, right?
Right, but that's what I think. I
Yeah.
feel like it should be part of who you are. If you don't do it, if you normally don't think about, oh, let me pull her chair, don't pretend. That's what I think realistic expectations is what I'm going for here. It's, if you usually say, for example, ask me when we get to the restaurant, ask me, what do you think you're going to eat? And when the waiter gets there, you go ahead and order for both of us. Do that and let that be consistent. If it's a thing you're trying out, let me know so that we both have realistic expectations. But I feel like...
Oh, so in other words, if someone was to open your car door, he should probably say, I'm opening your car door today. But this is not something that we should get used to.
No.
Is that what should happen?
Oh my God, no. No.
That's called setting realistic expectations, right?
Well, I guess so. You can say, you know what, next time you open your own car door, but today you look hella fine. Let me just do the honors. I guess you can do that.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, yes, you can do that. But what I'm saying is...
Gentlemen pointers.
Chivalry is not completely dead. I know some people who still are very, very kind. And, chivalry still exists. I feel that in my opinion.
So unchivalrous people are not kind?
I don't know, Sunny. They're kind, they're just not chivalrous.
Oh,
but chivalrous,
okay.
Isn't that still kindness? Don't you feel like it
It is a part
near
of kindness. It is a part of
very
kindness.
close.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
So
guess,
like, you know how you said when women start or men start something and then keep up with it?
Right.
So along the same lines, real quick, I'm gonna switch gears here a little bit.
you
for
better fuck this shit up. That's what you better do.
Let me take a sip of my tea. Let me
Sips.
sip on my
Me,
tea.
I'm gonna sip wine because...
Anyway,
And I solely did that for the people listening.
so
Cheers.
you know how women will like dress up real good for their man all the time,
Yeah.
and then once they're together, then it's the
Yeah.
the,
So you expect me to have these eyelashes every day?
You used to set those expectations, my dear.
No, man, it's hard. No, that's not an expectation. It's this. Let me say this. It's, for example, when you wear your best shirt going out on a date. Today, you're not wearing your best shirt. It's just your regular shirt.
How do you know this is not my best?
It
shirt?
is written tuk-tuk. I know it is not your best shirt. Y'all listening in, he's wearing a t-shirt. It's written tuk-tuk. Can you tell me that it is his best shirt? It is not. It's very not. Anyway, what I'm saying is, it's the same thing. Like us putting ourselves together for a nice little date is different. Like that's not chivalry or like it is me saying Reich. Wow. But that's not it's not like you've changed. It's just every day when I'm doing the laundry, I'm not gonna look like this. I mean, you wake up, come on. You know better. That's not the same thing.
Okay.
I say what I say.
If we stick to this topic, yeah,
We're gonna go forever.
we're gonna go forever.
I know.
We are having some interesting stuff going on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep, it's rugby. LA Sevens
goodness.
rugby is happening next
Yes.
weekend.
That's next weekend already?
Yes.
Guy, time flies.
Depending on when you hear this podcast,
Oh, yeah,
it is
true.
actually going to be on the February 24th weekend
True.
of 2023.
Oh my God, let's talk about... I know we're about to jump into rugby, but let's talk about Collins Injera. If you don't know that name, just pause. Just Google. Collins Injera is Injera. But I'm sure you know about Collins Injera. He is one of the best rugby players in the world, if I do say so myself.
And if you eat Ethiopian food, injera is probably one of the best foods to eat as well.
That's
Sidebar.
funny.
Anyway, go
That's
ahead.
so funny. I don't think they spell it the same way.
I don't know.
But I'm
go
not
ahead.
sure.
Yeah.
But he's played rugby for 17 years.
Yep.
And he recently just hung his boots and he retired. But as the Sunday Wind Down podcast, we just want to say shout out to you, Collins Injera. We give you your flowers because, I mean, guy, Kolo on the field is a beast. We've seen him play and all that. I mean, I know we're about to jump into talking about rugby, but we can't do that without mentioning Collins Injera. So shout out to Collins Injera and congratulations on your retirement.
Yes, absolutely.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Speaking of being a beast on the field,
Yeah.
you know, like I feel like what really gets these rugby players really going on the field is we have the best cheering squad out there.
That's true. Oh
You
my
know?
goodness, that is true.
When you're playing out there on that field, whether it's in LA or in Vegas or
Yeah.
wherever it might be, and the Kenyans are just chanting away, and you can hear us all over the whole
I
stadium.
know sometimes you hear Wamlambe, you just hear people Wamnya. It's just so beautiful. I
Yep.
mean, it's amazing.
Yep.
And you're right.
I remember
That's
last year
good
we were at
motivation.
the stadium, and we are making noise, and what we are saying is hatuta piga kelele, but
love
it
it.
means we're not gonna make any noise,
But
but we're
you're
making
making
hella
noise.
noise, right?
That is so
and
cool.
and just all the chants and all the
Yeah.
motivation, and so if you're Kenyan, even if you're not Kenyan, LA 24th weekend in February. Try and make it a point to come out to the stadium. Now, if you're going to LA just to have a good time and party, this is where my whole trying to cut down on alcohol comes in, so I can wake up
Tough.
tough. I know.
Tough.
I can wake
You know
up.
what? How about
and,
you plan to quit alcohol in March? I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna keep you accountable, because once you go to Rugby Sevens,
I didn't say quit. I said cut down.
ha. Yes, way. Please forgive me. Continue. Me, I thought we were quitting.
Eventually, maybe we'll cut down, and then we'll get to where we're not doing it anymore. But
Yes, so please, my bad.
Yeah.
You carry on.
Anyway, yeah. So you said something about March. Hold on. What's going on?
No, I was just telling you, because if you go to Rugby, you know Kenyans are going to be there, and you are going to be DJing. By the way, make sure you follow Sunny at Sistuki on all his social media platforms.
Absolutely.
Because he will tell you what he'll be doing. He has a ton of gigs lined up for that weekend. And if you know anything, you know a Sunny Sistuki party is it's gonna be wild, baby. That's one thing we know for sure.
Yep.
So please
Ain't
share
no
it.
party like a Sistuki party.
Ain't no party like a Sistuki party. Tell them what you're gonna be for this upcoming Rugby.
So if for everywhere that I'm going to be, check out cixevents.com.
CIX?
Yeah, cixevents.com.
Okay.
You can also follow me on all social media platforms at Sistuki. I just don't remember the names of the clubs.
Oh no, you don't have to, but
Yeah.
they'll follow you, so that way they can. I mean, it's also good for you.
And
to
I'll
learn.
also be at the stadium.
Right.
Definitely, I'll be at the stadium. Probably we'll also be DJing at the stadium like we were last year.
Woo.
So we're going to have a good time. We're going to support our boys out there in LA, and it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, and shout out to the Kenya team for always making it to LA. Well, not it used to be Vegas.
To the sevens,
To
yeah.
the sevens
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
It used to be Vegas, which we absolutely love. If you're listening to this and you have any control, please move it back to Vegas.
We need
because,
Vegas.
oh my God, it was so convenient. I
Yes.
feel like that's one thing I have trouble with now that it's in California. It's like we used to just party in the same places. You know, like we would be able to come to your party and after that take you to the after party, even
Yeah.
if you're not working or DJing. But now in California, places are so far apart and so much traffic. It's kind of hard to go around. But yeah, Vegas was just much
You
more
mean in LA?
convenient.
Because California
in LA,
is
sorry.
the whole state. But
I
it
meant
is hard
in
to get
LA.
around in California, I guess.
It's still,
Yeah.
like all together. But yeah, I meant for
California is
the
huge.
rugby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, yeah, shout out to the Kenya team. We appreciate you. Here are your flowers. Please receive them now.
Yep.
From all of us. Like, we truly, truly appreciate you guys. And for everybody who has an event just set around the rugby sevens, the Kenyan community, shout out to you. It's so important that we show our presence. It's so important that we make these boys feel like, you know, we're here for you. So shout out to everybody who puts anything together around this wonderful, wonderful event.
But guys, stay tuned to Sunday Wind Down as the podcast. We are on Apple, Spotify.
What do you mean, Sandra? Why don't has the podcast? Because we are who? Tunafanya nini? Kisiagi.
Kiingereza ilitoka kwa meli,
He has
please.
the podcast. Yeah, make sure you follow us at Sunday Wind Down Podcast. Is that Sunday WD Podcast?
No, Sunday Wind Down.
No, but we have different social media.
On social media, we are Sunday WD Podcast.
Yeah,
correct.
listen, we have not done this thing in such a long time. I feel like
But
we need
on
to.
YouTube and Facebook and Spotify and Apple and Google, I think that's where we are.
Yeah.
We are Sunday Wind Down. On social media, we're Sunday WD Podcast.
Correct.
On Instagram. And our
Yes.
email is also sundaywdpodcast@gmail.com.
Right, and thank you so much for making time to tune in. We are so grateful. I know we've been promising new episodes, and we are going to do better this year, 2023. We're not just going to tell you, itakam, itakam yenyewe, sawa?
There we go.
Keep watching. We really, truly appreciate you. Thank you for all your love and support. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms. That's Idah Alisha. That's Idah_Alisha on Instagram. And my Instagram, there's like a link over there. It'll show you my TikTok, Twitter, and all of them. So just follow me there. I'll see you there very soon, hopefully.
Yep, and don't forget to follow me at Sistuki, that is SISTUKI, on all platforms, and check out www.sistuki.com.
Yes, shout out. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Mwah!
Sunday wind down, yes you know I'm listening.